What's up? So a while back, Antelope Audio announced that they were going native with their Synergy Core plugins. I was especially happy about that because now people will get the chance to try out these really, really amazing plugins. Prior to the announcement, the only way you could use these plugins was by owning a Synergy Core interface. Luckily for me, I used the ZenQ, so I'd been exposed to using these plugins for a while. And I just decided to, make a video and share with you guys what these amazing plugins sound like and, let you guys into some of my sauce. All right, so let's get into it. Right, so I'm gonna start with the preamps because I'm a huge fan of the Synergy Core preamps. They sound so amazing. They just add character and depth to your recording. Now, luckily for me, I have the ZenQ interface, right? So I have the ability to print in these preamps real time with zero latency. Now that they've gone native, you have the ability to also now use these preamps after the fact and still get that energy, still get that tone. So that's pretty dope. Let me play the vocals without the preamp, right? And so that you guys can at least have a vibe of what it sounds like. Tell me, look on the whiny. She not only me, they call you wifey. God, I beg you, she make I worry. Make another man know they find me. Do you wanna do me wrong? Are you gonna do me grimy? Understand me, I'm always guiding. I don't feel to keep myself for your loving. Now, I think that the vocal sounds nice, right? But I feel like it still sounds very thin and I just need a bit more depth and I just need to give me this heavy feel. I want it to sound heavy. I'm gonna add the RD for the 7, right? So I'm just gonna add a bit of voltage gain, just a smudge, and then I'm gonna back down a bit so I'm not just cranking so much. So this is without RD47 active. Tell me, look on they whine me. She not only me, they call you wifey. God, I beg you, she make I worry. Make another man know they find me. All right, so with RD47 active. Tell me, look on they whine me. Ooh. She not only me, they call you wifey. God, I beg you, she make I worry. Make another man know they find me. Exactly, you can see that it brings out, it brings the vocals a bit to the front, gives it that heft. This is what the RD47 is doing to the whole vocals in context, with the song. Tell me, look on the whiny. She not only me, they call you wifey. God, I beg you, she make I worry. Make another man know they find me. Yeah, so pretty much that's what RD47 adds to the vocals. I really love the heft and the presence that it adds to the vocals. Right, so the next preamp that I want to show you guys is the BAE 1073MP. Sounds amazing. Now, this preamp, I'm using it for the hook because I wanted to change, I wanted the hook to sound not too far away from the verse, right? But I wanted it to have a very, like a tone, like a different character. So I added the BAE 1073 to the hook. So what I meant by I wanted a different character was I wanted the hook to sound a bit more distorted. I wanted a bit more saturation. So I'm going to solo the vocal here so that we can hear exactly what the BA 1073 MP is doing to the vocals. As you see me, I don't get the power. You can hear that distortion, that crunch. See me, I don't like wahala. Yeah, so without. As you see me, I don't get the power. Right. See me, I don't like wahala. You can hear that we lose that distortion without the BAE 1073 on. As you see me, I don't get the power. Yeah, I love all that saturation. So that's exactly what BAE 1073 is doing for me, for that part of the vocals. So in context with the whole song, let me play so that you can pick out what it's actually doing to that hook. As you see me, I don't get the power. Exactly. So I'm catching all that distortion, all that saturation. It's giving me a bit more energy and a bit more character in the hook, differentiating it from the verse, which is exactly what I want. All right, so moving on from the preamps, Antelope Audio, they have other amazing plugins like great EQs and great compressors. And for my drum bus, I'm going to be using some of these plugins. I must say that a lot of these plugins are accurate emulations of super rare, super hard to find, almost obscure consoles, right? For my drum bus, I'm starting with the Lang PEQ2, and it sounds amazing. Right. So for my drum bus, what I'm trying to achieve is I'm just trying to do a bit of tonal shaping and just add some tone to the drum bus to make it come alive and just control that drum bus. This is how it sounds. This is what it's doing to my drum bus. So I'm adding a bit of 160. And yeah, and this EQ reminds me of the Pultec style type of EQ because you can add and also reduce at the same frequency, and they will give you a very different feel. And it's just a smudge. And well, that's one thing about this EQ. Little goes a long way. So you have to be very, very, very careful using this EQ. So I'm adding just a bit of 160 and some 5K, right? Right, so you can hear that it's giving me a bit of lift. It's giving me a bit of brightness. It's giving me a bit of excitement. It's giving me a bit of heft in that drum bus, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Next is the Tube 176. This plugin is mind blowing to me because I think at the moment it's unavailable. I don't think you can find this particular hardware anywhere in the world. I think it's been discontinued. As you can see, it says the hardware behind the Tube 76 owes its sounds to the unique variable dual triode tube, which is long out of production. You cannot find, and even if you find it, it's going to be like super expensive, right? So, but thanks to Antelope Audio, I have it right here. Right. So what I'm doing with this plugin is I'm just trying to control my drums and I'm trying to add some tone, that tube tone. Without, right. With. Right, so you can hear how it's controlling the drums, the picks. It's just reining them in. It's giving me a bit more glue, and it's adding that warmth for me. It sounds like it's going through some type of hardware, right? And it's just giving me that warmth. Without. Exactly. Right, so you can see what it's adding to my drums. It's just giving me that life and just giving me a bit more energy, and that's exactly what I want. Right. And lastly, other amazing plugins, also plugins that can help you be creative, not just mixing. When you're trying to create sounds, design sounds, they have really amazing plugins. For example, there's the Marble White Ottawa. I really love this plugin because it helps me to add very interesting movements and interesting perspective to sounds that I just want to make sound better. It works for guitars, it works for all types of sound. Right now, I'm working on my ambient sound. So I have this ambient sound that I'm trying to make interesting. I just want to add a bit more movement to it, right? Without the Ottawa, it's pretty nice. There's this granular sound to it. It's a bit of movement to it, right? But I just want to make it a bit more interesting. So I'm adding the Marble White Ottawa. Wow, exactly. So I can shift the bias to the high frequencies to make it shine a bit more. Maybe reduce the decay. I'm always scared of resonance, so I'm just gonna leave it. Increase the sensitivity without, shiny, but with the Ottawa on. Right, I'm catching that all those movements, and it's just making my sound a bit more easy to listen to, and that can help me overall tame those highs. Without the auto whack. With the auto whack. Right, I think it's a creative decision. At the end of the day, it's what works for you. But the option is there. You have the ability to use these plugins to make creative decisions and to push your music to that next level. All right, so there you have it. Antelope Audio Synergy Core plugins. I'm a huge fan. Sounds amazing. The fact that you have the opportunity to use super rare, super hard to find hardware emulations is mind blowing for me, because these plugins are actual high fidelity emulations of very, very rare, very, very super hard to find hardwares. And to have that opportunity to have them on my system to use, that's amazing. Also, the fact that they update their libraries very often. So I'm looking forward to the next set of hardwares that they're going to recreate, and I'm hoping to expand my library. 100% recommend. Go check it out. Go to www.antelopeaudio.com to check out all the other plugins they have and all the other amazing tools that are, available for you. Peace.